Didn't think they could improve upon perfection, and yet they actually did it. This title screen's even better than... Oh, it's... hi! I'm CyMaxD, call me Cy, or Max, whichever you prefer, and welcome to the start of, hopefully, something special. Xenoblade Chronicles was released in June 2010 in Japan for the Nintendo Wii and slowly made its way globally over the next 2 years, give or take a few months. Like many others who managed to experience this renowned classic back then, or even on the new 3DS port in 2015, this title holds a very special place in mine and all of our hearts. And hopefully I'll be able to share some of that love with the rest of you. Sorry about the weirdness, I'm totally new to this, and... Okay, now I'm getting nervous. Anyways, before we begin, there's a few things I want to point out. First of all, in the options, you have, like any video game and piece of software, a number of different parameters that you can change to suit whatever you prefer. Hopefully there's more options in the game settings later on. But yeah, that's the first thing I want to note. Even though I'm confident about my knowledge on the original, I actually haven't played through this definitive edition. Yeah, I know. It's been like 3-4 months since it came out. A lot of stuff happened and I just needed a lot more time to build the courage for this. What this means, however, is while I can tell you everything I know from the original and what little I do know of the new 3DS port, any new content, like the extra story, is going to be a completely blind reaction for me. So, yeah. Let's see how this crazy experiment goes. Another thing to note, the sound quality. Apparently working closely with Nintendo on certain games like, I don't know, you've probably heard of this thing called Breath of the Wild and whatnot. They managed to pick the brains for the wizards who can somehow condense huge amounts of data into a very small package, because this game blurs the line between what typically constitutes a remaster and a remake, and takes the whole definition of dual audio to a whole new level. As you just saw, you can toggle between the English and the Japanese voice language settings without needing to download anything. But then there's the background music. Separated into field and battle BGMs, you have both the original and all the reorchestrated tracks out there. For reference, there were 91 songs in the original, not counting any extras added in for the future connected story. That's a whole lot of music. I'm gonna keep the BGM in its rearranged format for now because it's high quality, though I should note prior to I believe this is version 1.1.2, there was a glitch that caused one of the battle themes that typically plays during story events to not use its original format when selected. That has since been fixed. That's all we need to go. Apart from the voiceover. I'm going to go with the Japanese dub for 2 reasons. First of all, to help distinguish from all the other Let's Plays out there that use English. But also because there's a few little parts that are localization differences that I'm sure those of you like me who've studied Japanese for a couple of years will pretty much appreciate. I'll explain a bit for everyone else who doesn't. I will say this though, English or Japanese, you cannot go wrong with either voice work. The directing in each is really solid, so it's pretty much boils down to any little preference. Or in this case, a compare-contrast that I like to do. Now, there is one last thing I want to mention before we actually begin, and that's the title. Xenoblade Chronicles wasn't always meant wasn't always planned to be called such. In fact, the title was originally given by the late Nintendo CEO Satoru Iwata as a sort of tribute to all the people at Monolith Soft who worked tirelessly on the Xeno series. That being Gears with Squaresoft, and well, let's just say that their work on the Xenosaga series with Namco was a bit turbulent. Fortunately, we know what the original title was supposed to be, both from early gameplay footage and, interestingly of all places, in the Nintendo Wii's system memory. You know that little menu where you could basically pick a file, get its title and a little one-line description, and then have the options of either deleting it permanently or copying and or moving to an SD card instead. That's name? Well, that name will be resolved right after this quick intermission. If you have save data for Xenoblade 2 on the Nintendo Switch memory, you can gain an additional 100 grand at the start of the game. Apologies, my math is meh. I'm gonna ignore this for now because, due to my own experience with not really being strapped for cash for the most part, but it is a nice bonus if you want it. Anyways, I believe I owe you the name of that original name I was talking about. Monado. Beginning of the world.
遥か昔、この世界がまだどこまで行っても果てない海とどこまで行っても尽きない空だけだった頃、二中の巨大な神が生まれた。巨神と鬼神。互いの存亡をかけて戦い、そしてムクロとなった。それから幾万の昼と夜を経た今、僕らの世界巨神のムクロの上に広がる大地、巨神界は鬼神兵によって蹂躙されていた。
右翼の乱れに乗じて進軍た。機械の化け物にしちゃ知恵が回るじゃねえか。けどな、
だが
全軍に撤退命令だ。戦線をコロニー6まで交代。そこに最終防衛線を張るぞ。
なるほど、そいつは賢明だ。このままじゃ俺たちみんなあの領域だからな。
ちげねえ、それじゃとっとと引いちまうぜ。
なんて言うとでも思ったか。
何？
引かなきゃ死ぬが、引けば未来はつかめない。ならつかもうぜ未来。なに、俺たちにはこのモナドがある。つかめるさ、絶対にな。
このイノシシが。これ以上は貴様の体がモナドについていけん。動きを見ていればわかる。
その年でもう老眼かディクソン。俺は平気だよ、まだこいつは握れてる。
イノシシには言葉が通じないか。よかろう、俺も付き合うぜ。貴様の死にが拝んでやろう。
あんたに拝まれるのだけは勘弁願いたいね。
おいおいおい、撤退命令が出たって言ってたろ。俺らごめんだぜ。
ダメ、お前も来るんだよ。そいつだって頼りにしてるんだ。敵の第二陣が進行開始しました。
さーてダンバンよ、奴らに見せてやろうぜ。俺たちホームスの生き意地ってやつをよ。
承知。
何が生き意地だよ、バカじゃねえのか。死んじまっちゃ冗談にもなんねえぜ。仕方ねえ、こうなったらダンバンの野郎を取りにして適当に隙を見て。
Getting straight into the tutorial battle, don't you dare sleep on me, TV. Pressing left and R on pressing the left and R brow buttons will allow us to target any monster within sight. Let's start that now with this tutorial battle. Once you've targeted an enemy, the battle pellet will show up. This lets you do a few options. For now though, you just press A in the center to initiate the fight, as indicated by this interesting red button. As I've initially shown by being a little too jumpy, you can move around by using the left control stick, even in combat. This is an action RPG first, so everything is done in real time. For now, let's get close and hit him with a few auto attacks. Sorry about that, just have to check something quickly. As you saw, with the arts fully charged up, we can now select left and right on the D-pad to select an art. If there's a red circle around, then it means it's not ready to be used. In this case, we have two for our use. Monado Enchant, which powers up our party members and gives them effective damage against Mechon, as well as the Monado Buster. A massive AoE attack in a straight line that can really put the hurt in your enemies. But now, let's enchant. If you press left on the minus button, you can even check out the information on buffs. This can be turned off in the options if you don't want it, but yeah. As noted, PS, while in lowercase, is actually a key word to remember, since anytime you see the word within any stats or abilities or anything, it means that you'll be guaranteed to attack the enemy and not calculate the defenses and your damage. Also, remember, the Monado Enchant isn't just for damaging Mechon, it also increases the power of your base damage, if ever so slightly. Remember this in the long run. For now, let's take out the little guy here. Naturally, you can control the camera by rotating the right control stick around. For now, let's continue with the onslaught.
おい、本体のお出ましか。どうあっても俺たちを滅ぼしたいらしいな。
奴らもそれだけ必死なんだろう。なら勝機はあるさ。
だな。
ディクソン、ムーカ、行くぞ。タンバ
これ式で息はせんぞ。ダンバ大丈夫か。
見りゃわかるだろ。まだまだいけるぜ。
指し物英雄様もそろそろ限界のようだな。
ムムカ、どこ行く。そっちは。
悪いな。騎士兵どもの狙いはてめえのそれモナドだ。せいぜい気張って奴らを引きつけてくれよ。この俺のためにさ。ムムカ、お前は墓ぐらいは立ててやるって心配すんな。じゃあな、甘えよ。待て。おいおい、悪い冗談だぜ。なんだかな、俺たちの悪運もここまでってか。ダンバン、
ディクソン、残りの兵を頼む。
ダンバン、まさか貴様。バカな奴らだぜ。あとはほとぼりが冷めた頃見やがらってモナドを拾いに行けば。いっち
騎士兵ども、ホムスを、巨神界の人間を食われるのを待つだけの餌と思うなよ。はあ。
Everything you just saw, we can explore later on in the game. And that's only the tip of the proverbial iceberg. We're in for quite the ride. See you guys next time.